Hey guys, it's Dan, and decided to hop on here. I did a little bit of stuff before um, recording. I decided to go ahead and get the farm made, but yeah, I was just reading through the comments of the last video about what kind of stories and stuff people would like to hear, and one was a guy talking about what life is like after college. So I kind of figured that would be something interesting to share with you guys just since I graduated in December of 22. So it's been about almost a year and a half since I graduated. It's not quite like what I had planned on it being, I guess, if that makes sense. It's nothing terrible, but it's definitely different from what I had planned. But I think I'm gonna go exploring, look for a village, so I can find some plants and stuff to put in my garden and kind of talk about that with you guys. But first, I want the rain to stop, so I think I'm just gonna kind of hang out until it turns dark so I can sleep and get the rain to go away. I did also decide to change the difficulty of the game back down to peaceful just because of the fact that right now with this mouse and stuff, I almost got slaughtered like 3 times trying to fix the house. And until my new mouse that I ordered comes in to where I can actually start swinging and it doesn't change to a water bucket and I try to drown both of us at the same time, I'm just going to go ahead and play on peaceful. That'll help me get set up a little bit and not make as many mistakes because I don't really want to just die without really standing a chance. All right, that took way longer than I thought it was going to, but now that the rain's gone, let's get on the road. So, like I mentioned, I graduated college in December of 2022. I was majored in finance and a minor in accounting. I just went here to UW in Wyoming and I enjoyed it. I started my freshman year in Grand Junction, Colorado at Mesa studying civil engineering. And I'd done that all through high school, like some sort of engineering and architecture, stuff like that, and really liked it. But I got to Mesa and had a couple CU Boulder professors, which is who Mesa was partnered with at the time, and it just was not for me. They were kind of dickheads, and I just did not enjoy that program. So I decided to leave and transferred here to UW, where all of my friends and everyone went. And that's kind of where I realized, at least at the time, I enjoyed finance and accounting and all the numbers and stuff like that. Is that a. What is that? Is that an ender portal? I gotta see this. Already finding some goodies. I'll take that. Yeah, I did that for about 4.5 years. There was some stuff that kind of happened that ended up making it take a lot longer than I had originally planned. But yeah, it was just work and all sorts of different stuff. I didn't have the luxury of just being able to go to school like a lot of people have, which is something I found kind of strange. It seems like there's a lot more people that can just go to school and not have to work. And if they do have to work, it's like 10, 15 hours a week. I wasn't able to do that. I was having to work like 40 plus hours a week. But yeah, I did that. I got my degree, walked across the stage, all the hooray, hurrah, all the fun stuff. And that was when life pretty much changed. I feel like once you graduate college, there's pretty much like two paths that you can go down. The first one is like the typical, oh, okay, I have my degree in X and I'm going to go do that. I have a job pretty much right out of college that they want me, and I'm going to go get started in it and just make it my career. And then the other option is you go through school and you're like, I don't really know if this is what I want to do. I guess I'll just kind of keep going and see what happens. But right now, this just isn't really for me, or you can't find a job and you just don't really know what to do. I fit into the latter of those categories, and I think that's perfectly okay to know either what you're doing or have absolutely no idea. My best friend was an accounting major, got a job right out of college, and he seems to enjoy it a lot. It makes him some good money and uh, takes care of him, so he hasn't had any complaints about it. Whereas for me, I have absolutely no idea what I want to do. I still really like finance and like the ability to do accounting and stuff, but I've been doing some bookkeeping on the side myself for a nonprofit, and I'm gonna be honest with you. I kind of hate it. It could be because I don't have anyone training or really helping me with it, so that could be part of the reason I dislike it as much as I do. But yeah, as of right now, it is not something I really want to stick with. And yeah, it's okay to have that thought and that feeling and explore different options. That's kind of one of the reasons that I started this channel, but it wasn't like to make money or anything like that. It was more or less just as a type of escapism, I guess, if that makes sense. I just needed to do something a little bit different to occupy my time and help me to be able to like decompress a little bit and figure out what it is that I want. There are some things though that I feel no matter which direction you go right after college that you're gonna experience, and it's gonna definitely kind of take some time to get used to it. The first and biggest one is you have so much extra time now. Like, I know a lot of people kind of dog on business students and stuff, saying that they don't really have anything going on, which may be true for other universities, but at least for me, and especially with how much I had to work, I never had any free time. Just a normal night's worth of homework would take 2 3 hours a night after a 5 to 8 hour shift at work. So it was never real mellow for me. But once I graduated, I had so much time to just do kind of like whatever I wanted. I didn't have to worry about waking up early on Saturday, starting my homework, doing it until 6 7 o'clock at night if I didn't have to work, and just be balls to the wall all the time. It was really nice, honestly, that part. Wow, that's actually really pretty. I did not expect to come up here and it be pretty. But yeah, that took some getting used to and trying to find different things to fill my time with. And for me, I don't, like I said in my very first video, I don't play a whole lot of video games, honestly. It's just hasn't been my forte as of the past few years. I think college kind of wiped that out of me where I just didn't have the time for them. And with all my friends and all the games changing so much and it just being so much harder to jump back in, I don't really have that same ambition to play games all the time. So you'll definitely want to find other hobbies. For me, I chose to do like photography and camping and things like that. Those hobbies have helped me a lot to kind of get out of the like COVID state of mind, I guess, where since when I was in school, COVID started and everyone just wasn't anywhere near as social as they used to be, I guess. So, and just wanted to stay indoors as much as they could. So, those have helped me be able to go outside more and be able to not have as bad of cabin fever, I guess, because a lot of people I've noticed after COVID like to spend a lot more time indoors and not be as adventurous as they once were. So definitely finding a hobby that kind of gets you out of your comfort zone a little bit and changes things up from what you're used to is something I would really recommend, because you just need to find new things to do with your time and new passions for your life. The second really big one that I've noticed and I've not only experienced but a lot of my friends have as well is when you graduate college, a lot, probably 90% of the friends that you made, you just don't talk to anymore, and even you just start to lose contact with everyone. And it's honestly kind of sad and hard to deal with and cope with. Oh my God. I did not realize that they would still try to kill you even on peaceful. I wanted to see if you could get those and keep them, but apparently I was wrong. So I'm gonna try and get away. Hopefully, that actually gives me so much anxiety. If you watch the last video, you'll kind of know why. But even though it's a video game, I do not like that. But as I was saying, you do end up losing a lot of your friends, and I think it's all just part of life. It's something that will inevitably happen at least at one point in your life. It was really weird for me to adjust to because we used to have, that's the complete wrong tool. But like my group, we used to have a lot of people in it. It would probably be 15 to 20 people at a time that would all come and hang out. And once I graduated, it kind of dwindled down to like two or three at most, which was really strange. And it's because a lot of them either when they graduated, they moved away, or when you graduate, you'll end up going somewhere else and doing something different and just won't be in the same social sphere as them. So you end up just losing a lot of people, and it makes life a little bit boring, to be honest. But once you kind of get used to it and you get out and start making more friends, it's okay. But your college friendships just don't really last forever, at least not all of them. There are still a few people that I met while I was in college that we talk almost every single day and still hang out, but it isn't the same as when I was in school and had a bunch of people that I went to class with all the time, would see every single day, party with at the weekends, and go out a lot more. I guess the best way that I can put it is that your priorities and everything change, and so does everyone else's, and just the things that you do shift, which is all part of life. There's nothing that you can really do about it and whatnot. I mean, I'd love to be able to keep every single one of my friends that I've met around for my entire life, but that's just not how life works. Everyone has to go out on their own and experience life for themselves in different ways. So definitely finding things to do with all the free time that you'll have, and losing a lot of your friends is something very, very common for when you graduate college. But it's not the end of the world. You'll make more friends. You'll find different things to do with your time to fill up your days. But those are the two biggest ones right off the bat. I do feel like there is a lot of stigma. I thought I was going to die there. But I feel like there is a lot of stigma to go into the career path that you went to college for, which is well deserved, just because, like, you spent all this money on a degree in that subject. Why would you not go into it and be able to use your degree? But at least for me, when I graduated, I was applying for a bunch of jobs in finance and accounting, and it seemed like either nothing was willing to hire, because for an entry level job they wanted like 5 to 7 years of experience, which is so entry level. Or in the finance space, I don't know if I clarified that, the accounting, they were wanting like 5 to 7 years of experience, and in the finance space it is a pretty much solely commission field. Like, you have to sell life insurance, mutual funds, things like that in order to make money, and you only get a percentage of those. And that's just not really how I want to go about it if I'm working at a job. I would much rather be able to have a guaranteed set of income and not have to worry about it at the end of the month. I would like to do my job and just be done with it. But that's just me, at least. And I decided that I think I might try and find a different route, at least for the time being. I've tried the bookkeeping and stuff, which would probably be better if it was with an actual company that had people that would kind of show you the ropes and be like, this is how this system works. This is where we want these things. And it wasn't like you're just getting kind of thrown into it like, yep, this is the accounting software, figure Figure out where all these accounts go. We aren't going to send you any receipts. We aren't going to do this or that to help you. You're just kind of on your own with that. So I think that kind of put a sour taste in my mouth and made me not want to do it, which could always change. Once you graduate, you really start to open your eyes and see how much is out there and how different the world is than it was when you were growing up and as a kid, because in college you don't really think about those things. You are focused on classes, hanging out with friends, trying to get as many different life experiences, I guess, in while you're still young, and you can pretty much pawn it off on being like, hey, I'm just a stupid young kid. And once you graduate, that's when real life kind of hits you and you're like, huh, what am I going to do? What do I really want out of this game we call life? And I can't really point you in the right direction of what things you should do and you should be doing, because it's different for everyone. Like, I had planned on going to school, being a investor in some sort of business, and then end up starting my own business in real estate where I could make affordable housing for college kids and young families and stuff. But I think with the way the world is and the things that I've experienced in that little bit of time, I don't really believe that's for me. I think I would much rather do something solo, and especially around kind of, I would really like to get into some sort of content creation, whether it be games like this, or my ideal first choice would be something kind of like overlanding. I've always loved camping and things like that. So to me, that would be something I would love to do for my job, is be able to go camping, do some overlanding and stuff like that, share it with people. But I don't know whether or not that's going to actually work out. So, yeah, you just kind of have to figure out what your priorities in life are. Did that really get stuck in that? Oh, you can't do it on the side of trees anymore? I'm not going to lie, I kind of completely lost my train of thought that I was on there. You just have to really figure out what things you want in life. Do you want a career in your industry and something else? Do you want a family? What exactly do you think will make you happy, and how are you going to get there? That's really it. It's really weird that I have still yet to see any sort of village or structure of any kind other than what was in the ocean, because I would really like to have some potatoes and carrots so that I don't starve and I don't really want to listen to cows all the time. All in all, though, I think life after college is really what you make it. You have to discover yourself more as an adult than you did when you were in school, and be able to be mature enough to know that things are going to change, and what are you going to do in order to make your life as successful and as happy as you possibly can. As well, you also have to make sure that you aren't stuck in a type of like depression, I guess, which I've seen with a couple of my friends talking to them on the phone, is after they graduated, they got super depressed because they're now working in a job that they don't really enjoy, or even if they do, they're all by themselves. They don't have any family around because they moved across the country to get this job that was in their degree field, and they don't really have any friends, and they miss the nights of being able to go out with everyone, have stupid conversations and do all sorts of dumb things and have that enjoyment, which is understandable, but at the same time you're adapt and, unfortunately, at least a little bit, learn to grow up. So it's nothing to really be scared about, but it is a big change, that's for sure. It's something that will take some time to get used to, but as long as you are strong, at least in your mind, and can conquer the things that keep you down, you are more than likely going to be super successful. There's probably a lot of other things that I am missing talking about this topic, but I think that will have to come in another video, maybe something just like finding your purpose or something along those lines, just because I am only like a year and a half out of college. So for me, it's a little bit different, as well as I actually still live in a college town. So things are kind of similar, I guess, if that makes sense. Like I can still see all the young kids, and there are a lot of people around my age still that are I deal with on a day-to-day basis, but it's not the same as when you were in school, I guess, if that makes sense. But that's okay. Maybe once I have spent a couple more years outside of college, I can come back and update this video and share my thoughts and what to expect like long term. But as for right now, I think those are pretty much the key takeaways. So hopefully this kind of helps share some of the things that you may be thinking about and dreading, which is understandable, but it's not all bad. Honestly, there's a lot of ups and downs, and same like when you were going to college, you're away from your family, which may be kind of difficult, especially if you're all are super close. But you get to make a lot of new friends and experience a lot of things for the first time. So yeah, it's almost like any other big change, I guess, but it's one where your brain's more developed and you actually get to have a more thorough experience of it, I guess, if that makes sense. I don't really know how to explain it, but yeah, nothing bad. Just take some time to get used to, and you'll figure out what you're going to do one day. But with that all being said, you guys, I think I'm just going to call that the end of this video. I don't know if that helped or not. It's just kind of at least things from my point of view. Hopefully it doesn't sound like super depressing or anything like that, because it wasn't really supposed to be. It was supposed to be more just like realistic advice. I don't want you out there just dreading it, being like, I'm never going to drop out now since it's not fun, because there are definitely some good parts about it. But yeah, I think that's where I'm going to call it. Hopefully you guys got some sort of takeaway from this video to know and be able to understand better what your next steps are and what kind of things you may experience. But with that all being said, you guys, I hope you did enjoy. If you guys would hit that like button and that subscribe button, as well as if you have any other stories or things that you'd like me to share my 2 cents on, let me know down in the comment section below. I'll definitely try to do my best if I can to share what things I think and feel about them. But for the time being, I'm going to continue on the hunt for this village that may not even exist. But hey guys, my name is Dan. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch you all in the next video.